Oh, those members move so fast. Alright, so I guess we're starting again. Hi there, this is our, I guess it's still considered our first podcast, because the other one isn't gonna work out. So I'm Lonnie, and this is Shreya.
Hello.
And, this is something I've always wanted to do, honestly. Like, let me tell you. Since I've known you since 5th grade, I've always wanted to just talk to you and, record it and just record how interesting our conversations are.
Really? They're interesting.
No, but... No, but I have always wanted to... Oh, Rachel messaged you. Oh, girl.
Oh, girl.
Oh, girl. Okay, no more of this. How do we
what?
How do we hide it so that you don't read your messages while we do this?
Well, is it still... Okay, that's all.
Okay, just... Maybe we should turn
it upside
over.
down?
Yeah, turn it upside down. There.
That might... Okay.
There you
That's a
go.
good idea.
Alright. So, we're supposed to be talking about dance, so I guess we have to start all over.
Right. Effort. Well, Lonnie, when did you start dancing?
I started dance when I was maybe about 3 or 4 years old, when I lived in Vancouver. I was in a ballet class, and how would I explain it? It was out of someone's house, so they had 2 rooms where there were bars and mirrors, and there was this one girl, and I think her name was Emily, and she was always causing trouble.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and
Wow.
She was always distracting me and hugging me the entire time, and I was having none of it.
Wow, you were being distracted? That sounds
Yes.
like the opposite of what happened in all of our
I would get
classes.
so angry that they would push me aside and tell me to go sit in the corner because I was being rambunctious, but really it was all Emily's fault.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let the truth be told, it's finally out.
yes. So, when did you start dance?
I don't exactly remember it. I think I was either 5 or 6. We went to a class, I think it was more professional when I was in Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I obviously didn't take it very seriously. You're like 5 and 6. I think some of the girls in my class did. All I have to go on is these photos in my baby album that my mom took.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this, the troll dolls that used to be a thing?
Yes.
Well, I had a really big one that was a ballerina, and I took it with me.
Oh my gosh, they made a troll doll ballerina. That's hilarious.
It was adorable. And I looked just like the troll. My hair was, wild.
I remember.
And,
Well, no, I didn't know you, but I know the picture. Anyways.
Yeah. And, I was all in pink, but I was rambunctious. I was probably the kid that, was it Emily in your class?
Yes.
I was probably like Emily or something similar. Probably not hugging people, but, rambunctious. And then there's a few classes that I did probably in grade 1 or 2 at school of ballet, because my mom really wanted me to be a ballet teacher, or a ballerina. But I had none of it, so she tried to put me in tap at the same time, and I was having none of it. I didn't want to be a ballerina. I wanted to be a hockey player.
Did you ever go into hockey?
I did, for maybe 2 years of my life.
Did you love it?
My dad taught the classes, or the team, so I had fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was a small town, we all knew each other.
Yeah.
I was not very good at it, but it was fun. But I didn't like how cold it was.
Yeah. Being in the ice rink was always cold.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite things, ice skating.
It's kind of like a dance.
Yeah.
You could start taking classes on figure skating.
I'm a little too old, but I've always wanted to do it, so.
Too old, past your youth, past your prime.
I know that our friend Sarah, she had this pond, the man-made pond in her backyard where we would skate and stuff. So much fun.
Really? They had a pond?
Yeah, they would make it just for ice skating.
Wow.
So they made it themselves, and that's what we skated on. It was fantastic.
She did figure skating.
Yeah, she did do figure skating. She took me along to a couple things.
Aw. Well, figure skating's great. But
we used to... Let's talk about skating. Why not?
Okay.
We used to go in... What was it? 10th or 11th grade? 11th grade? I think it was 11th grade.
I remember going a few times in 10th grade, too.
Okay, I wasn't invited to those, but that's cool.
I don't know. You can't take that too. I had pink hair. I have pictures of going with Vedanta friends, at least.
Yeah, I wasn't invited. That's cool. That's fine. So in 11th grade, we made this habit of going pretty much every weekend in the fall and spring to go skating at the Capitol News Center, where, one, they do the newspaper, which I think is still obsolete. And two, they had these huge skating rinks and sports fields and stuff indoors. So that's where we would go skating a lot of the time. Lots of good memories.
Yeah.
I loved skating with you guys.
It was good.
So it was like the group of 5 of us, and sometimes some people wouldn't show, and we would invite others and stuff. And then eventually we all bought our own skates, because like going to the Capitol News is at least $4 for each time, and it just got to be a little bit too much because none of us were working.
Yeah.
So we started going downtown when they opened the downtown skating rink, and we would go there for free. But it got really crowded.
Yeah.
It gets really crowded at like holiday time. Like everyone wants to go have this romantic experience, and I remember one time when I got asked out by this guy. It was snowing so hard. I had to stop because I couldn't see anything because it was just snowing so hard. It was getting on my glasses. Like, the worst thing for glasses is when it's either snowing or raining. I don't know what is worse, but it's those two things I hate.
Well, I think snow would be the worst because then it melts on your glasses.
Yeah, and then, like, no matter what you do, if you wipe it away, it creates a smear and you still can't see.
Yep. I always thought windshield wipers for glasses would be a great idea.
Sounds like it.
They would look awful. But.
You know that episode of... What's his name?
SpongeBob?
No, George...
George Shrinks?
Yeah, George Shrinks, where they have the windshield wipers for someone's glasses. I don't remember the full episode, but I know that they took, like, the windshield wipers off a toy truck or something, and they put it on this person's glasses, and it worked, and it was hilarious.
Dream come true. Wow.
I know.
That's probably where I got
that
the
in
idea.
Real life.
Oh.
I loved that show.
Good show. It's a Canadian show, right?
I don't remember. I just remember watching a lot of reruns because they never made new episodes.
Right. The struggle.
Like a lot of the shows. I also watched Arthur. I wasn't supposed to watch Arthur, but I would always sneak into my parents' bedroom where the TV was when I was little, and I would pretend and say really loudly, "There's nothing on! Why is there nothing good to watch?" And I would secretly watch Arthur.
Wait, how come you weren't allowed to watch Arthur?
DW and Arthur always fought all the time, and they thought it was a bad influence on me.
That was like with my family. They're like, TW is too sassy. We don't want Shred to be more sassy.
Yeah. Something like that, but it didn't work, because I would keep watching it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Such a bad child.
Jeez.
So bad.
What did I watch? I watched Arthur. I didn't have cable at my home, so I just have it at my grandparents' house.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we went there, I'd watch shows, which would vary from, like, Sailor Moon to, like, SpongeBob. Lots of SpongeBob in my life.
What was your first anime, Sailor Moon?
That's a hard one. I would say, Mew Mew Power on 4Kids TV, also called Foxbox at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, that was probably my first. That one and Sailor Moon for sure. And then, of course, Inuyasha, I got really interested in. So that was in, like, the stage of when I was 13, though. But
When did you really get into it? Like, who introduced you, Cassie? Or?
Well, I always grew up with it around, but I think Cassie and my friend Sam introduced it to me. They were both my cousins, so. And they were both really into it, so. And Sam was almost 3 years older than me, so.
Big influence there.
Yeah. Yep. I
Gotta
thought
follow
Inuyasha
the
was
cool
pretty
kids.
sketchy when I was, like, 8. I was like, whoa. I saw a really, like, gory episode the first time, and I was kind of freaked out.
But then
I was like,
I can handle it.
It was like a moment for me. It was a existential crisis.
And that was when Shreya lost her innocence.
Yes. Well, they were a part of that too. They told me how periods work, so.
Oh, no.
We're not going to go into that.
Oh.
Older cousins are so much fun.
I don't remember much of my cousins as a kid, but I do remember in our one of our first houses, probably our second house that I remember, our duplex, where our cousins would come over, and my sister is older than me, and we would all put on these little skits for our parents. And I remember one time someone was dressed up as a unicorn, and we had this stage set up, and it was really bad. And our aunt decided she wanted to tell us that it was really bad. What? And my cousins got so upset, and they just stormed off, and we didn't get to finish the skit. That's all I remember. I don't remember what the skit was about or anything, but...
Just the unicorn.
Unicorn costume, and someone got really upset.
Aww.
But we did a lot of those things. We did a lot of skits like that.
I remember doing Santa Claus skits with my friends.
What?
It would always end up with Santa Claus getting drunk.
Oh.
I was like 10, so I don't know. I was 10 years old.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
What else did we do? Remember that cat game we used to play in grade 6?
Right.
Well, I think it was more in grade 7.
It was...
Because in grade 6, we played this runaway game where we had to, travel the country. I remember this one distinctly.
Right.
We had to run away and travel the world because someone was after us or something.
Yeah, and I remember our parents were sick.
Oh, yes.
We had to get medicine for them, in China or something. I remember because I did the comic for it.
You did? You made a comic of this?
You remember the comic? And
no,
I
don't remember this one.
We were, looking around. I tried to keep up with our story, but it didn't get very far. But, there's this one part where we're so hungry, ugh. And then, there's this, store, and it's, the big sign reads, "We have food." It's, perfect! We have food, guys! And I'm I couldn't come up with, any better grocery store name.
That sounds awesome!
It was great. I'll just show you it. I still have it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I look back on it. I'll bring it next time I see you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of this comic.
I remember because Lonnie had a character, and our characters were romantically involved.
Weren't all of our characters romantically involved? You always played the man or something?
Yeah. Well, I had this manga, how to draw manga book, and it was a really bad book. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I never followed that. Oh, no, I did, actually. It was my first how to draw manga book, and we all picked faces out of it for our characters.
I remember this now.
Yes. Because it was us and maybe 5 other people. It was a pretty good big group at some point.
It was Shelby, I don't know if
Leah.
Shelby, Leah, Lauren Kruger, Rachel, me, and you.
Yeah, and then Jericho came one time, and yeah, he came. I know because we had a character. For Jericho.
I don't remember him.
I drew him. Okay.
Anyway,
yeah,
go on.
And also Stephanie Clausen.
Stephanie was
she very shortly.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I don't remember Stephanie.
Yeah, it was at the end of the thing.
Stephanie, you're a sweetheart if you're listening, but I don't remember you being part of the group. I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago.
I miss Rachel.
Rachel, yeah.
I miss her.
Me too.
I had a dream about her I think it was quite a while ago, a few weeks ago, but I had a dream that something was going on with North Korea. They were bombing North Korea.
No.
I don't know who, but anyway. And then it was affecting South Korea, and I was trying to get in touch with her, and I think this was an overlap with the Korean lady that came into work, and anyway, that's a whole nother story, but I'll tell you that one after, but anyway, I had to get a hold of Rachel, and I couldn't get a hold of her phone number, and it was really stressing me out in the dream. Anyway, so about this Korean lady that came into work, because this is a really good story. So she comes in, and she's talking to one of my coworkers, Danielle, and she's telling Danielle her mother-in-law is abusing her, and they're all threatening her because of something that she said, they don't get along or something. And it was really hard to understand because she is really broken English, and we're trying our darndest, but she's just... Basically, she's in trouble. and she needs help and she doesn't know what to do. So we said that you should not be abused. You should not be being abused by anyone in your family, whether it's behind closed doors or not. This should not be happening. If you really want to get out of this situation, we need you to call the police, and you need to tell them. And she's like, well, I'm scared because I'm going back to Korea in 3 days, and there's really no point for me to get involved with the police now, and something to that effect. And it was really hard to watch, because she just came out of the blue, like, came up to us in the store out of the blue. I work for a coffee shop Tim Hortons, and her mother-in-law and her father-in-law are sitting right there with her husband and everything, and they're like 10 feet away, and she's telling me this story about them.
Oh.
And
wow.
We're trying to figure out like how we could possibly help her. Like, if she needs help, why is she coming to us?
Yeah.
And it was so
bizarre.
And I felt so terrible, because if she really is being abused in this situation, and she feels like she can't go to anyone, like she said, oh, I'll be fine. And she had a son, I remember now. He's like 2 or 3 years old, and I was like, are they hurting him in any way? And she said, no, it's just me, and my mother-in-law just grabbed me and was really mad about something I said to her, and she really doesn't like how I'm raising him or something, and
oh, that sounds like...
It was just really hard. Like, it's also a culture that I don't completely understand, so I don't know what's culturally appropriate. But I don't think abuse is appropriate in any sort of situation, no matter what culture you're a part of. That's not acceptable to hurt anyone in any sort. So I told her, if you have an issue, you really do need to call the police, no matter when you were leaving. And it was really hard to watch her leave and go sit down with them after that.
Yeah.
But she did come in the next day, and I wasn't working yet, and I told my manager the story the day of when it happened, but so Jen knew what was going on, and this lady came up to her the next day, and she said, oh, is Lonnie here? And well, Jen said no, because she can't give that information out, and she's like, I drew her something, and she gave me this beautiful I think it's just a heart, and it was made out of all of these different intricate squiggles out of different colored markers, and I can tell where she ran out of one color because she used a different marker. And it was so cute. And she put her name in the date and a little thing, and her phone number, her Korean phone number, on the back of this piece of artwork, and it's the coolest thing that's probably ever happened to me. Just so sweet, and I feel so terrible about the situation that I just really hope that she can get away and not feel pressured by a certain culture to act a certain way and to accept certain things that she shouldn't have to go through, especially alone like that. It's just really hard to hear about.
While having a child, that's hard.
Exactly, especially when you're going through this, because they have a certain responsibility for their parents and their parent-in-laws. I can't imagine.
No, it's hard, yeah. I have a Chinese friend, and he lives in Beijing, and he's always just been stressing about his family. Like, he's like, well, I gotta get married soon. He's like 25, and he's like,
oh my gosh,
everyone's pressuring me to get married and have kids. And then he said, well, I need to have a good enough job, and he doesn't really want to like his job. He just wants to travel lots.
Yeah.
But he can't do that, and he has to take care of his parents eventually, and they're going to move with him, and his wife's parents is going to have to take care of too, so he has to provide for all these people and his kid, and he's very stressed about it, and I feel very bad for him.
What is he going into?
He's, it's funny because we talked, and I don't know the exact, like, he said he is a part of an office that does communications in China, and he went to a university that did, it was University of, like, Public Transit, kind of.
Oh.
So he helps run, like, trains and everything, and organizing for that, so.
Why is he stressed out? Does it not pay enough or something?
Well, he doesn't like to work that much, because, you know, in China he doesn't get very many days off at all.
Yeah.
So. And he really lives, like, traveling, so. He actually wants to move to Canada, but.
He should think about it.
Yeah. He's trying to update his English so he can come. But he's a sweetie.
That's a really hard one. What was, I've always been wanting to learn, these different languages like Spanish and Swedish, and I really want to learn Korean one day because of all the stuff that I want to do for North Korea. Like, I really want to, Sherry knows this, but I will tell you guys that I really want to reunite North and South Korea. And I think for that, you kind of need to know Korean to speak to these Korean people about what they want.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do just something that I want and I see fit. Like, what if these people don't want to reunite? What if they want North Korea to be their absolutely own country and just have... What is the dog doing?
The dog is eating your garden.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Pause. Pause.
There's the pause.
Sorry, the dog is in the garden.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we were talking about Korea.
Korea? Oh, okay.
But yeah, you should learn Korean.
It's a hard one.
Actually, I thought, like, the alphabet is pretty... I mean, no English is, quote-unquote, easy to learn.
No, of course.
But,
No
I think
English?
it's one of the easier ones.
No English is easy
Korean.
to learn.
Korean.
No language.
Language.
Good job.
But,
No language is easy to learn. Good point.
yeah. But, I mean, when I was in Korea, a lot of our team picked up on it.
Okay.
So, I'm not saying
Where
that-
were you staying?
I was in Seoul the whole time. For a month, I was in Seoul. Basically, because I was in China beforehand. And it was with, like, a humanities-like group. And we taught some English in China, and we helped out in orphanages and foster homes and just general work with university students and everything. That's where I met the guy from China with some backstory. And then we went to Korea for a month. We had some contacts there that we could stay with, and that was a little bit more of a sightseeing area, but we got to hang out with areas. We actually went to a church that helped rescue North Koreans from out of China. Because, of course, when they go to China, they can't let the Chinese police know they're there, so they have to hide quite a bit. So work is hard for them. And if they can, they try to contact this church in Korea. I don't know how they find out about it. They have some people that live over there permanently and find the people. And then they pay the church a certain amount of money. Well, the church mostly runs on donations as well. But and then there's actually a documentary on it online that follows them throughout the whole process, because they have to go down south all the way through Thailand and everything.
Crazy.
Because as soon as they get into Thailand, they recognize them as refugees, and they'll send them to South Korea. So they won't send them back to North Korea, unlike China. So they have to travel all the way through China and through the jungle, and it's quite dangerous. Especially because they're taking trains, and they can't have any of the police check their IDs, and yeah. And I mean, we saw this video of, like, little kids that go, and sometimes they can only go at a certain amount of time, so if it's a big family that's in China, like, only the daughter will go first, so. Also, on a side note, my sister went on a humanities trip into China as well, along the North Korean border in China, and they actually were on the watch where they had to, it was really popular at the time, it was 20 years ago, I guess, that the only option that some of the mothers felt in North Korea was that they had to float their babies down the river in, like, baskets, trying to hope that someone would find them in China and take them in, and they would have a better life there. So my sister and her group, they would find these babies, and they would take them to a safe orphanage. That's just so intense. I mean, wow.
Did she remember what the organization was called or anything?
I would have to ask her again for sure. But she would know.
It sounds really cool. Like, that's something I would definitely want to do one day.
Yeah. You and babies.
Me and babies.
And then North Korea. So
you know me.
that would be fitting.
Kind of reminds me of this time in Mexico when we went as a family. We were kind of on a vacation / missions group because my parents want to be missionaries down there one day. Anyway, so we went to this foster home. This orphanage where the babies all basically have like a mental disability or Down syndrome or something like that. And they're so cute. They're so cute. And there aren't enough people working there, so it's so hard to leave them, and all they want to do is cuddle and play, and it was so hard.
Aww.
It was so hard to leave, because they were just so precious, and all they give you is love, and then you try to leave, and they start crying, and, okay. No, let's not go through that.
Aww.
I think we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good talk. We went all over the place.
Yeah, we wanted to focus on one subject, but...
No. Let's not do that.
It's a good warm-up.
It was a good warm-up. It was a good first try.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Let's do this again sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know when you will hear the next one, but we will work on figuring that out for you.
Yeah, and hopefully a camera at some point.
Yeah, at some point where I am wearing a shirt.
Yeah, that as well.
And not just a sports bra. But there you go. You're welcome for that mental image. And we will talk to you again sometime.
Alrighty.
Thank you for listening, everyone.